I was watching a Matt Walsh video, and it talks about Andrew Tate and they delve into the whole CEO and HR woman, right? And it's basically talking about whether men should cheat in a relationship or not. And I kind of want to talk about this in a way because, like, in my personal opinion, I kind of agree with Brian Atlas and Andrew Wilson on this one. There is no reason for a secularist man to ever get married. No reason. Okay, and I firmly believe that women have killed it. So, like, in that case, I will say Andrew Tate is right on that. But, like, as a Christian, like, there, like, we still have duties. Okay, and God is unchanging. Therefore, you know, this is the reason why we need good men. This is like the exact reason why we have good men. Okay, to stop all this stuff. What Andrew Tate is doing would be like the death of like any nation. Okay, so anyway, so I skipped really forward. I'll leave a link to his video in my description, but I just want to talk about this really fast, right?
To my post. A number of men, including some prominent ones, responded that my idea is bad not because adultery is okay universally, but because it's okay specifically for men.
That I totally disagree with. Okay, I totally disagree with that.
This is the point that Andrew Tate made in a reply to me on X. It's worth responding in some depth because his perspective on marriage and family life has proven, we must admit, quite appealing to a large number of young men. And I think that that is a very troubling thing because it.
Now, you see, I will say one thing, though. I will say one thing, and this is going to be an extremely hot button. I won't say hot button, but like a big scandalous thing. Okay, I believe if a man cheats, it is a hell of a lot less destructive than if a woman cheats. A man is able to have sex with another woman, right, and not have any emotional ties to that woman. Okay? Women do not seem to comprehend this, but it's actually true. A man is able to have sex with a woman he fucking hates. I'm not joking. It's actually a real thing. Women cannot do that. Women have like a very very emotional tie towards the man that they're with. Okay? Or normally they're supposed to. But that's really how it is, okay? When a woman has sex with a man, okay, she knows his social security number. She knows his height, she knows his weight, she knows his mother's name, okay, and his mother's name before getting married. You know what I mean? Well, last name, I mean. So it's like, it's just like, that's just how it is, okay? When a woman has sex with, cheats on her man, it is so much more destructive. Now, again, I disagree with cheating. I even agree with Matt Walsh over here. I think all adultery should be illegal. Full stop. I don't care if it's man to woman, woman to man. I don't care. It's all legal. All right. But I will say that there is a difference between a man cheating and a woman cheating. Big difference. Big. Okay. I feel like the marriage is completely over if a woman does it. If a man does it, it's like, okay, you may be able to find find something, some grounds on it. Okay. Although me personally, if you cheat at all, I disagree with it. Okay, but I'm just saying there is a difference. That's all I'm saying. I'm not defending it whatsoever. I'm just saying there is a difference.
His perspective on this topic is wrong, and I'll explain why. So here's Andrew Tate. Reading, quote, great way to put the nail in marriage's coffin. Nobody gets married anymore because of women like her. Men are men, always have been and will be. He's allowed, she isn't. Telling men if they touch another girl at any point in their lives equals financial decimation is why nobody gets married anymore.
Okay, so like he's speaking from a purely secularist viewpoint. Okay, he's not speaking on a Christian viewpoint. So I'm going to ask him this one very very simple question. Okay, why is he allowed? So he meaning the man, and why is she not allowed? She meaning the woman, like the hypothetical woman. That's what I'm wondering. Really. Why? Why? Because if he were to do it, the woman could easily just back away from that relationship. Okay? And if she were to do it, he'd back away from that relationship. Okay, so that means they're both not going to like it. Why would she stay? Why is he automatically allowed? Right? It's just weird to say that, you know. But on the other hand, I do see what he's saying, because secularist women are probably the worst things ever. I'm just gonna be honest here. You know, and this whole thing over here, you know, obviously, you know, the man's in charge, will always be in charge. Women are made to submit. That's just how they are. All right, either they're submitting to their bosses, or they're submitting to their man. No matter what, they're submitting. Okay, or they're submitting to their fathers. Doesn't make a difference. They're just meant to submit. Okay, and they're happier when they submit. Okay, so I understand why he would be saying this, but this is the trap. Okay, in order to have a man that thinks this way, you're going to have a very, very promiscuous woman that thinks her way. All right, so if a man's going to be sleeping around with a whole bunch of women, okay, carelessly, have a whole harem of women, obviously there's going to be a whole bunch of women that are going to be opening her legs for him, which only contribute to the downfall of society. You know, it's just a stupid way of thinking, because it's like a cycle of destruction. You know.
Married anymore. Now, I responded and said, I disagree. Loyalty and integrity are essential virtues for a man. If you make a vow before God, you keep it. Sneaking around with another woman while your wife is at home with your children is a violation of the promise you made to her and to God, and therefore unmanly and weak.
Now, I would even say that's the same way for women as well. Okay? The same thing for women as well. Obviously, the manliest thing you could do is be faithful to a woman, but I feel like the most feminine and most loving thing a woman can do is be faithful to her man. All right, so it's not just a one-way street, not at all, not at all. I mean, this is a big thing, which secularists don't seem to see it that way. All right, which, okay, fine, but you know, to say what ought be when you're a secularist, well, you're speaking out of your ass now. I mean, you can't really say what ought be when you have no actual, no actual foundation. Okay, anything that you say is a moral foundation when you basically have none. It's just preference. It's just preference. I prefer it to be this way. So Andrew Tate is saying I prefer men be the horn dogs that I think they ought be. All right, which means that women have to be the horn dogs as well. Okay, because women still are the gatekeepers of sex. So if men are having a whole bunch of women in their bed, well, I mean, a whole bunch of women would have a whole bunch of men in their fucking bed. So I mean, it's just can't have one without the other.
I have 4 sons and raised them to always keep the promises. Never make a promise you don't intend to keep. This is fundamental. Now, Tate had another rebuttal. He wrote, agree on this point about teaching our sons to keep the promises, which is why any man with a brain doesn't hand over keys to his castle to a misandric legal system and over-emotional, unchecked females. The world's changed, Matt. Women are a fraction of what they were. Telling men to just get married and just be loyal gets men wrecked. The only way they hold the relationship together is to give up any ounce of masculinity. Living hell. The smartest move on the chessboard for a man now is to get rich and have as many children as he wants or as many women as he wants and take care of them all. Second world, avoid first world courts. Own your empire, and women will respect you in return for their provision. 4 sons isn't bad. I have more, and I always will.
So, I mean, he ain't wrong, though. He's not wrong. Okay? I feel like the only argument against that is to disagree on the fundamentals that you believe in God, and that's basically it. But he's not wrong at all. That's why I said, if you are a man that does not believe in God, there is absolutely, positively no reason for you to get married. None. If you do not believe in the transcendent nor the supernatural, there's absolutely no reason for you to get married. Okay? If you can think of an argument, reach out to me in the comments. I cannot think of a single solitary reason why any man who does not believe in God would ever get married. Okay? Seriously. Because, yeah, this is definitely a misandric court system. Okay? It's a very, very gynocentric society that we live in, where we only care about what the woman thinks, not the man. Okay? I mean, yeah, this is a very, very feminist world that we live in nowadays. Okay? And women have men by the balls. Okay? No doubt. Absolutely no doubt. So, I mean, it's sad to say, but it's the truth, though. It generally is the truth, okay? And, I don't agree with Andrew Tate at all. But, like, I do understand his philosophy in the fact, well, I wouldn't say philosophy. It's just that he has a take of the world that not many people are willing to, like, just call out on, you know? Because any other man that says something like this, oh, you're just a dreaded I word or whatever, just whatever, okay? Oh, you're just fucking misogynist. Like, bro, he's not wrong on this. He's not wrong, okay? A woman could just easily be in a relationship with you for like a fucking year or two, okay, and take half your shit away. Just divorce you like that, okay? And the funny part is, then she'll go online, say how you fucking abused her, and not a single fucking person with a brain will go over there and fucking say, wait a second, how about we wait until the courts? How about you file that lawsuit or whatever, or press those charges, okay? And let's wait for the fucking see what the people say. No, they won't wait. They will just rush to premature judgment and assume that you fucking assaulted her. Okay? Yeah, that's it. I mean, it could be lawsuits, it could be charges. It does not make a fucking difference. Okay, people will just always side with the women. Okay, remember the whole Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing? Yeah, same fucking thing. People were bashing on Johnny Depp. Okay, but he was the abused one. He was breaking his fucking fingers, shitting in his fucking bed. Okay, I mean, like, and then you heard the fucking recordings. She was a manipulator. She was the average fucking woman. Like, she's like, wait, you think anyone's gonna fucking believe you? You're a man. Like, well, you got me there, right? And there you go. It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up, right?
Courts own your empire, and no woman can steal my hundreds of millions. Marriage is suicide. Feminists built a world where females have no duty as wives and every possibility to destroy you. If you can't change the game, win the game.
Yeah, but you see, he's not even winning the fucking game. He's not even winning the game. He's actually not. He's not winning the game at all. Okay, he's driven by his own fleshly and carnal desires. That's all it is. Okay, that's all it is. And let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you. It just so happens that he has all the money behind him. Yeah, the guy makes a lot of fucking money. But if he were just an average, schmuck, average Joe like you and I, would you say win the game? Ain't no damn game to win. This is life, bro. This is life.
Now, I've already made the argument that laws against adultery, which I support, have a lot of historical precedent.
Yeah.
I must acknowledge then the same thing here. The setup which Andrew Tate describes and promotes, where men have children by many different women, has lots of historical precedent. It does. This is the way that primitive societies have operated for thousands of years. And today, this strategy, if we can call it that, is very popular in certain communities in this country.
Yeah, but make no mistake, we don't live in a primitive society anymore. Okay? We're not really that primitive anymore. Alright? Because if we were to be as primitive as Andrew Tate wants to be, there would be no reason why we couldn't just drag a woman by her fucking hair and just pull her in the back and just do whatever. All right, that's primitive. Do you think we should do that? No, we shouldn't. That's not right. Okay, I believe honoring women, honoring men, and there you go. That's what I believe. Okay, you see, I mean, I feel like the most sophisticated society is one of a Christian society. I know every fedora wearing atheist will disagree, but I firmly believe that. I do. I believe like the most advanced and sophisticated society will be one that honors its own neighbors. Because imagine you want a society full of people that love each other. Because if we hate each other, it'll be just like fucking divide and conquer, right? So I mean, like, no, if you have a bunch of people that love each other and are willing to fucking defend each other and help one another and have some hospitality, okay, that's like the best thing you ever can do, okay? And I feel like the best society is one that takes into account the bedrock of society, which is the family. The family. Okay? See, again, Andrew Tate wants to talk about having all these fucking women by his side, but yet you realize single mothers are probably like the most detrimental thing to a society in the family unit. Okay? Like, it's not even fucking close.
To the Department of Energy.
No sponsorship. Yeah. Skipping that.
Tomorrow. And you can always spot those communities because they're the ones that are the most dysfunctional, the filthiest, most destitute, and crime-ridden places in the country.
Yeah.
Show me the...
Yeah. The ones that are always the most primitive are always the ones that tend to be the most disgusting and like nigh uninhabitable.
Murder rate and the average yearly income in any neighborhood, and I will tell you whether most of the children in a neighborhood have a father in the home or not. And
exactly. Bingo.
I will never be wrong. Andrew Tate talks about this kind of lifestyle as though it's natural. In a post on Sunday, he made that claim explicitly. He said, quote, monogamy isn't natural for men. Men are men. This is how they'll always be.
Why would it be natural for women? I don't really understand that. I guess because maybe they feel more emotions towards someone. I guess. Well, then again, I also did explicitly say that when a woman has sex with a man, like she knows everything about him. I guess there will be some level of like connection. I mean, maybe I don't know. You know what? Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
And he's right in a certain way. It is natural. It's natural in the sense that it appeals to our most base and uncivilized impulses. Another word might be primitive. An even better word would be animalistic, which is why it's so commonly found in the animal kingdom. Reptiles and fish behave this way. You're not going to find a monogamous lizard or shark. Monkeys are almost always non-monogamous.
That's that whole naturalist argument. Alright, but like last I checked, dude, we're the ones building fucking skyscrapers and shit, okay? We're the ones having a fucking civilized economy. You know what I mean? Like, a civilized world. We're the ones that make the fucking infrastructure. I don't see animals doing stuff like this. You know what I mean? I mean, come on. That's why we're up on the fucking food chain. Animals are not. Okay? We're the apex of the ecosystem. Okay, so I don't understand where this whole thing comes. Well, that animal does it. It's like, what the fuck does that? What does that even mean? What the fuck does that even mean?
Go down the list of animal species, and they almost all approach family formation the way that Andrew Tate prescribes.
Well, not always. I'm pretty sure fucking penguins mate for life. I think, right? They have a pebble to their mate or something. You have a shiny rock. Okay, I mean, I'm sure there's other animals that'll do the same exact thing. Alright, I mean, bro, find a fucking animal. Okay, I feel like we should be like black widows. Okay, because after I'm done plowing my girl, she'll fucking bite my head off. Like, dude, just pick one. Pick one. Okay, I mean, really.
But the problem is that we are not monkeys, or lizards, or sharks. We are human beings. And my controversial contention is that we should act like it. Is monogamy natural? Even better, it's supernatural. Man and wife become one at the altar. They are bound together by the vow they made before God.
Yeah.
This is
Amen.
above our base instincts. And so is composing a symphony or sculpting a statue of David out of a massive hunk of marble. These things are achieved, just like any great thing is achieved, by rejecting temptation, subordinating our base desires, embracing some measure of hardship for the sake of something far greater than whatever momentary pleasure we can experience by giving in to them.
Hallelujah.
And there is nothing in this world more manly, more masculine than that. In fact, I would say this is the very definition of masculinity. Can you do the harder thing for the sake of the greater good?
And that's actually where I want to leave it on, right there. I feel like that perfectly encapsulates masculinity. Everyone thinks that masculinity is all about lifting weights and, and just, I don't know, lifting weights. It's funny because I've seen many people just say that. I don't know why I'm a masculine man. I'm buff and I'm ripped. Like, what? What does that have to do with anything, bro? What the fuck? But yeah, I mean, people have no idea what a masculinity is, and I would say that perfectly encapsulates it. Okay? And I feel like masculinity does not exist without something to actually die for. And that's why family is also so important. Because, like, a secularist may only go back down to family, but a Christian has both God, church, and family. So they actually have, like, many reasons to live, many reasons to stand up and fight. You know what I mean? That type of thing. And I mean, like, fight any enemies, and stuff like that. Like, fighting off demons and things. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's like just what I'm thinking. I mean, as a secularist, like, if there's no supernatural, I mean, I don't know. Then I don't know where you're getting your moral foundation from. All right, I don't know why you even believe in masculinity and femininity, you know, because why not think that both men and women are just interchangeable widgets, But with that being said, yeah.